Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Sarah and I upload twice a week, so be sure to subscribe before you leave. Also make sure that you hit the little bell so that way you stay notified of when I upload. This video is also in collaboration with one of my really sweet, good YouTube. I consider her like my YouTube internet best friend. Her name is Chatty and her channel is Chatty Loves Makeup. I'll go ahead and have her channel and her video linked down below. We kind of just like came together and we're like, how about if we do like glowy makeup and we'll each do it for our complexion. So she's dry and I'm combo oily. She is Balm.com at makeup. Like she's so good. Go on over, tell her I sent you, go subscribe to her channel. We're keeping the skin mainly really nice and matte, but we're going to add our touches of glowiness here and there so that way we can look nice and, you know, a little glowy, since we can't always wear those luminous and like dewy foundations and setting sprays and primers and stuff like that. I'll go ahead and list everything down below, and everything in this basically is cruelty free. The only thing I didn't, or that I used that's not affordable, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. I also give like little tips and tricks along the way. So this is going to be kind of a little bit of a chatty, get ready with me type of look. So grab some popcorn and get comfortable, nice and cozy. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. So without further ado, let's just get into this look. So one of the important things about doing a look like this is that you make sure you use the proper skincare. I have combination oily skin, so I'm using the Ulla Henriksen Balance line, which I will leave the iCard up here. I did a review on it. It's done wonders for my skin. It is definitely helping clearing up my acne, and it's doing very good at controlling my oils. Just make sure that you cleanse your face and you tone it and moisturize. That's super important. I used to think like back then when I didn't know anything that if I used a moisturizer it was just going to make my face a hot oily mess, which is absolutely wrong. If you don't use a moisturizer, your face is going to produce even more oils, so it's just going to be a whole lot worse. It's definitely important that you use a moisturizer and make sure it has an SPF in it, or make sure that your primer has an SPF, or your foundation. I'm going to use the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot primer. I need to find another cruelty-free primer. The reason that I'm using it is because it's like the only affordable option that I have right now. I had my e.l.f. blemish primer, but I ran out, so I'm using this one because it's basically like full. It's like right here, so I've used like hardly any of it. For concealer, to, you know, get rid of all this stuff right here, I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild Photofocus concealer. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this, but I don't know if it's because it's not super full coverage like the Tarte Shape Tape. I did try that one and I don't know, I just couldn't get it to work for me. I just couldn't work with it. Maybe it's user error. Maybe I should buy it again and try it. I'm just gonna use this angled kabuki brush to just blend it out. I'm going to take like a touch of translucent powder. I'm going to be using my NYC Smooth Skin powder. This is like not available anymore like in the US at Target and stuff, but I need to get the e.l.f. one because that's one I had before, and then I wanted to try the NYC. NYC is not cruelty free. This is in my project pan, so kind of cheating a little bit and taking advantage of trying to use up the rest of this powder. So all I'm basically doing is just lightly going over the concealer to kind of just set it in place. And then for foundation today, I'm going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation, and this is in the shade Medium Beige. I feel like this 04 is almost like too pink or something. Kind of just like working with it. So I'm just taking that on the back of my hand and I'm just going to dot it all over my face. When you use hydrating products on your face, you can use mattifying makeup. I make sure that my skin is nice and moisturized, because if you go in with too many mattifying products, your face will like freak out and it's gonna think that it's super dry, so it's gonna overproduce oils. And this is a Real Techniques beauty sponge. Also, I did get my hairline threaded. I have a bunch of like little bumps and stuff on my face. I kind of just like wanted to get it done already, so my face is kind of having like a mini breakout, especially right here with all the hair gone, like all the I guess pores or whatever were open. I had to get rid of all my baby hairs. I just couldn't stand it anymore because it made me have like that awkward hairline. Like my hair came out here and then it came out here and then it like goes down. I kind of wanted to just even it out. And this foundation doesn't have like a super matte finish. It kind of has like a demi matte finish. It is really full coverage. You set it with like translucent powder to help mattify your skin, and then you also just use a mattifying setting spray. It'll work out for you. I'm just showing y'all the things that I do to make sure that like my skin stays flat, but we're still trying to add like a little bit of sparkle in the eyes and a little bit highlight on the tops of the cheekbones so that way we don't look a super hot oily mess. And then I'm gonna go back in with the concealer. I don't have really bad under eyes, and I don't know, I'm not like a huge highlighting person where I put it all across my face. I used to. That was just like a step I didn't need. It's kind of just like personal preference if you want to. I'm not like downing it at all. I tried it and I just wasn't a fan. And I also like to take it up on my lid to double as my eyeshadow primer. I like it when products have like multiple uses. I'm gonna set my under eye area and my lids, and then I go back and set my whole face, put a little bit of powder on the lid, swirl it around with this powder brush, just start setting the entire face. Here comes this other part that I also like to do. I'll take my damp sponge right here. Oh, I feel like I have like a little loose hair or something right here, and then I dip it into my translucent powder. We're gonna bake, but I like to bake on my oily areas, which is basically the center of my face. And this helps keep my face matte like way longer. And I also didn't record my threading process. It was kind of just like on a whim. I really should have. I'm so sorry guys. But I would say on a scale, there's probably like powder flying everywhere. On a scale of 1 to 10, like for pain, some areas were 6 and some areas were like borderline 8. There were times where I almost sneezed, but I kind of like held back, but my eyes definitely watered. While that kind of just sits there, I would just recommend put it on your super oily places, so while you do the rest of your makeup, if there's any oil that's trying to just push through, the setting powder is just gonna go ahead and absorb it. I'm gonna do my brows next. I know this is supposed to be like super affordable drugstore brands, but if there's one thing that I could recommend for you to splurge on is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. I also have the Brow Wiz. I'm not a huge fan of. I actually do have the ColourPop brow pencils. I'm just not a fan of these. I feel like they're almost too waxy. They just don't look good on my brows for some reason. I have this e.l.f. one right here, but it's broken, so I can't use it anymore. I need a new one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do them off camera. My brows change all the time, so I don't have like a set brow routine yet. I had an old one I recorded a long time ago, but I think that was kind of just trimming my brows a little bit. I will be right back. But once I dust like the powder off, then I like to brush the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Mascara. This is in the shade 02 Brownie Brows. I think they came out with like a third shade, and so I don't know if this one is still called 02 Brownie Brows or if it's 03. I don't want to mess up like my zoom right now. You could see where my face oils is starting to absorb the translucent powder because it's starting to look less and less visible. I'm going to jump into the City Color Contour on the Go. I got this at Five Below, which I love that store. Oh my gosh, I could get in deep trouble there, so I try to stay out of there as much as possible. And I've got a lot of my makeup there, and they do sell City Color, Wet n Wild, Beauty Treats, Profusion, really affordable stuff. I think I might be going in there more so that way I could pick up more affordable makeup. A lot of those lines are cruelty free, so easy peasy. I really like this because, well, the highlight shades suck. They're too much like of a flat sheen. I don't like them. You do have warm shades and then cool tone shades. This is the only cool tone shade in here. This is like a little bit of a warm tone shade. To contour, I like to mix a little bit of these two together, and then I'll just do like a little dab into this right here to kind of bronze up a little bit. And I go into these two shades right here, and I'm going to do it very lightly because they are kind of pigmented. And always make sure that you blend up. You don't want to blend anything down. We don't want to cast any shadows down or look like we have a 5 o'clock shadow. And this brush actually is the Glamour Dolls and Lisa Frank collab. I got it in my Ipsy bag. That Ipsy bag was all cruelty free. I'll link it up on the iCard right here if you're interested on looking at that. Or if you're wondering what Ipsy is, you could go check out that video as well. And then up on my hairline, I will take this little bit of an orange shade and then this one right here. I was like worried that the threading was going to make my forehead look like super huge, but it doesn't. I kind of just don't like the effects of it. Basically my skin's like freaking out because all the hair's gone. And then for underneath down here, I'm going to do these 2 shades right here. And then again, I just do 1 dab of that. And then I do take it down the neck. Take this powder brush and kind of just push in whatever's left on the setting powder and kind of just set the rest of my face with what's left. To just lightly bronze up a little bit, I'm going to take these 2 shades right here and I'm going to use the same brush, the Lisa Frank one, and I'm just going to do little like stipple motions, patting motions on the top of where we put the contour and then just brush it out and blend it. I almost forgot to set my brows in place using the Essence Make Me Brow. I also like to use this on my no makeup days because it does have little fibers in it to help volumize the brows. For blush, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Color Icon, the Mellow Wine Blush, and it comes with like a little weird brush that I'm just gonna throw away. I like to smile and put it on the apples of my cheeks. I love blush so much, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do like little like sweeping motions and then I take it to like my temple and then kind of just whatever's left on the brush. I always like to take it on the center of my face. We're gonna hold off on the highlights. I'm gonna go ahead and jump to eyes. We're going to be using the e.l.f. Need It Nude eyeshadow palette. This is only $10 and it has all these shades in here. $1 a shade. Basically, we're gonna dip into this one right here. It doesn't have a name, but it's the 8th shade. It's just like a taupey brown shade, and we're just gonna start lightly blending that into the crease, rounding it off, like I'm stopping it like this. I'm not doing any type of flicking motions or anything, just like rounding the eye out. But you can flick it out if you want to do like a more of a cat eye effect. You can go ahead and do that. I'm just trying something different today, and usually I take the eyeshadow all the way in here, but I'm just stopping right here. It's all about trying different techniques. And to kind of warm it up a little bit, I'm going to dip into the City Color Contour on the Go palette, and I'm going to take this bottom shade and I'm just going to run it on top of that taupey shade, like on the top of it, just to kind of blend it out and just make it look a little warm. I'm going to dip into this very last shade back here, which is the 10th shade. It's this dark brown, and I'm just going to focus that right into the crease. And these brushes that I'm using, I got them from eBay and the brand is Kivange. I think if I'm saying that correctly. There are hits and misses. I've been meaning to do my review on these. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to reveal too much information because then there won't be a need for a review. That's all I'm going to say. There are some hits and misses. Once you feel like you've got that to your desired intensity, you can go darker or you can just leave it like this. The next 2 shades we're going to take are these 2, which is going to be 5 and 6. So this one's kind of like a pink gold color and this one's like a super gold color. So we're going to take both of these. I'm going to go back and forth on the brush, and I'm also going to spray it with this Mario Badescu Rose Water. I'm going to use this flat concealer brush, I guess. These brushes don't have any names. I just guesstimate what they're called. It might be a flat eyeshadow brush. It's almost too chunky to be a concealer brush. I'm going to start doing like little patting / stroking motions. The very last shade right here. Again, take that on a fluffy blending brush. And we're just going to kind of darken the outer corner a little bit just to give it a little bit of a dimension. And then I just like blend it in as I go back into the crease. The very light shade, which is the very first shade in the palette, it's just a cream white color. We're going to use that to put underneath the brow. For the tight line, waterline, and on the lid, I'm going to use this Essence Gel eye pencil. It's the waterproof one, and this is in the shade Cocoa Bean, which is brown. You do have to roll these up. I remember I had to buy another one because I thought you sharpened these, but you don't sharpen them, okay? The little bottom swatch right here, you twist it and it rolls up. So what I have to do is I have to keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it. It's really big for the tight line. I wish a company could just come out with like super skinny eyeliners just for the waterline or like tight line, you know, just something a little bit smaller because these are like super thick. I do like to fill in my tight line just because it makes the lash line look a little bit more full. And I do roll it down just a smidge. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do my lid. Just pull and make it like nice and tight to get this eyeliner to go on pretty smooth. I'm going to go ahead and do the waterline eyeshadow down there. I'm going to dip into the City Color contour palette and I'm going to take this shade. I'm just going to sweep that underneath the eye. I'm just sweeping this all under here like so. And then going back to the e.l.f. palette, I'm going to take that number 8 shade, which is that light brown taupey shade. I'm going to use a smudger brush and just run that between the lashes a little bit, the very last shade of the palette, and do the same thing. I don't want to do anything too heavy on the lower lash line, so I'm just going to stop right there. I'm going to go ahead and take the Cocoa, what was it? I was going to say Cocoa Bear. Cocoa Bean eyeliner, roll it up. I don't want it to dry out, so I always roll them back down. Working that on the waterline. Little trick I like to do to make my eyeliner in my waterline stay, because I do have like super watery waterlines. I'll take a small angled brush and then whatever color eyeliner that I put on my waterline. So I'll go back into this brown shade and I'll just set my waterline. Then I'm going to curl my lashes. The lashes I used on this eye, they're super minimal, but they are the Ardell 110. They're super light and not heavy at all. So while this one dries, I'm going to show you another little tip. I don't think I invented it, just something I like to do. I'll take any black eyeshadow, and to kind of get rid of that glue line right there, almost every single palette has a black eyeshadow. What I like to do is just take that angled liner brush, cover all the shininess of the lash glue. I know there's black lash glues, but I don't trust myself with those. So I'm pretty messy, so I like to stick to the clear version. For the inner corner highlight, we're going to use the Wet n Wild, the Fergie one, back when it was called Hollywood Boulevard, but now it's called Boozy Brunch. And I'm just going to take that on this little e.l.f., I guess it's like some type of pencil brush. Spray rose water on it. Just start sticking it in the inner corner. I take this Essence, the False Lashes Mascara. It's the Extreme Volume and Curl one. I like this, but it's super wet. Like the consistency of it is super moussey, but it definitely gives volume and length. Make your lashes look like one. But that's just me. I know with some lashes you're not supposed to get any mascara on them. This is definitely a good mascara if you like those spidery lashes, because it'll definitely give you spidery lashes. And I usually just do one coat because that's basically good enough for me. So I'm going to zoom you guys back out, but that's basically the eyes right there. I'll finish the rest of my face and we'll do the lips. This is basically the part that is going to be our Lumi look, because we do have combination oily skin. We don't want to use illuminating primer, illuminating foundation, or anything like that that says illuminating or dewy. Those are the things that we do not want to put on our face. All we want to do is put on anything mattifying, a bunch of powder, some good setting spray, and you know, maybe just a touch of highlight. Nowadays everyone is just like so into the highlight. If you want, you can always touch a little bit of highlight right here on the brow bone. Instead of keeping it matte, just tap a little bit right here on the brow bone, but we're definitely going to put some right here on the very tops of the cheek. For me, I don't want to bring it down because I do get oily right here on my cheeks, and so I just want to keep it all the way at the very back of the cheekbones. I'm going to use this, again, it's from that Kivange brand, and and it's just like a tapered highlighter brush. I'm not going to spray my brush with rose water just yet. Lightly start blending that, and then I kind of do like a little bit of a C shape like this. Bring it up. We don't want like a super harsh line. I think my face was super oily, or had just got done moisturizing my face, so I sat in front of a mirror and it was lighted, so I was like turning my head like this and seeing where the light basically naturally hit. It would do like a C shape right here. I feel like this intensity is pretty good, so I'm not gonna wet my brush. Some people do like to take it up above the brow, but I don't like to do that either because I get oily on my forehead. It's always one of those, oh my gosh, no, nothing shiny on where I usually get shiny, you know? The struggle of oily skin. My nose does get oily, but if you want, you can always just, you know, use your finger and touch your highlighter and kind of just dot it a little on the nose. Boom, you got your little highlight right there on the Cupid's bow. Just right there on that little V. I'm all about the highlighter mustache. For lips, I'm so stuck. I don't know what to do. I have this Wet n Wild Mega Last lipsticks. This is in the shade Bare It All, which it's supposed to be a dupe to Max Velvet Teddy. And then I have the NYX Butter Lipstick in the shade Lifeguard. And then this super fiery hot orange. I think I might do this since I'm kind of recreating a look that I put on my Instagram. I'm going to swatch all three on my hand and see which one I like better. Which one? I can't decide. I think I'm going to stick with that fiery orangey red shade just because it's spring, so why the heck not? Anytime I have like any type of matte liquid lipstick that's kind of drying, I take this Adesse New York Cupuacu Butter Lip Balm, which I got in an Ipsy bag, and I've already put some on earlier, kind of touch up a little bit, but this is perfect under liquid lipsticks. It makes my liquid lipstick feel so comfortable. So this is a Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit. This is in the shade Flame of the Game, and it's like a orangey red. It's so pretty, and plus I think it'll look really good with this gold. Some setting spray. I'm going to use the Mario Badescu Facial Rose Water. I would use this e.l.f. Matte Mist and Set, but it doesn't keep me matte. I was using the NYX Matte Setting Spray, which is, I feel like, is way better than the e.l.f. one. I think they're the same price, like $6 or something. I bathe in this stuff. I even spray it on Savannah's face. I sprayed it in her hair. It says you could spray it on your skin, on your hair. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed like the little tips that I gave along the way, and I hope they were new to you. I tried to make this a little bit chatty. A lot of people like chatty get ready with me's. Leave me your comments down below if you like this look. Give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already by hitting this button right here. All my social medias are listed down below, so go check me out there. Have a blessed day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.